My name is Elliot Interview, and this is the reason why I want to study at Leeds Conservatoire. First of all, they have a lot of opportunities for progression. Like going into, I could say that there's one-on-one sessions which you don't really get in, like obviously in college or school level, music. But in uni, I'll be able to progress in myself with a one-on-one tutor who can show me what I'm doing wrong and how to improve, whether that be my writing or my cadence or whatever, breath control. It could be anything, but the fact that I'm able to do one-on-one tutoring with someone else that could, tell me what I need to do better, I think that's a way that I can easily progress in the course. Um, they also allow, there's a lot more opportunities to perform, which is one of my favorite things to do. I love performing. I feel most alive when I'm performing, and the fact that there's a lot more opportunities than I got to do in college and in school. There's a lot more, and I can, choose what songs to do when, instead of like, okay, I've got three songs I've been working on at this point, and I thought, okay, there's a performance coming up, gonna have to do it, gonna have to do all of them. But if there's more opportunities, I could do one song here, do another song there, and I can break it up, and that feels like there could be more gravitas to when I do a certain song, because it feels like there's been more of a build up and more of a you know what's the word, progression in it. Um, they also allow me to do music business courses, which is another thing I really wanted to do, mostly because I want to get into management and A&R, which is a thing which I feel like, as much as I like rapping and I love performing and all the musical sides of it, I feel like the business side of music is also a really important part of it. And the fact that at least Conservatoire would allow me to, explore those roots and explore that part of me, which I haven't been able to really express or see much of. So the fact that I'd be able to, really explore that and go, okay, do I like this? Do I not? If I do, how can I move forward in it? I feel like that's a really important thing that I'll get to do during it. Um, cool. Yeah. Also, lastly, I also get to network with in there. I think that networking is important because as a rapper and as a performer, there's so many people that I could work with. There's so many artists, producers, band members, drummers, guitarists, pianists. There's so many people I could work with, and having all those people at readily available, and just being able to say, yo, I want to be able to talk to this person. I want to be able to, work with this person. It's going to be so important for me moving forward as a musician and myself. Um, Another question that was asked was um, what singer or what artist is most important to me as a popular music student or soon to be student. I would say, to me, I'd say the Wu-Tang, mostly just because they were the first ever rappers I listened to. They were, when I first listened to the Wu-Tang, the first song on the first album, which is Bring the Ruckus, was a song which it was important to me because when I listened to it, I was 12 years old or 13 years old, and the only real hip hop I listened to at that point was Will Smith. And as you know, he doesn't really like he's a good musician, but he doesn't do anything overly over the top. He's very safe in his music. But when I listened to Bring the Ruckus by the Wu Tang, it kind of awoke a part of me which was like, I can really do what I like with music. I can really say what I like. I can really just be all out myself. And listening to that first song really showed me that, yeah, music doesn't just have to be one thing. It can be a multitude of things, and it can all work together in perfect harmony. Which, again, the reason why I like the Wu Tang, because they all have different styles of music, but they all work together in harmony. And I feel like for myself, with the amount of like flows and lyrics that I write, I try to keep balance and try to make all of them work in harmony and make it work. And that's why I think it's important to me. Um, Also, I was asked who are the rappers that I listen to or musicians I listen to now. Obviously, the Wu Tang, like I just explained, big because his flows are so interesting to me. Like whether it be he's rapping about violence or gang violence and shooting people and whatever, he still delivers bars that make you think. Like they aren't just, okay, I went and killed this guy, or I went and got this guy down, or whatever. It's like he's rapping a story, and it makes it more thought provoking, because when he says he kills somebody, he could easily be talking about his pen game as well as actually killing somebody, which I feel like the difference in between those is so interesting because you get to see two different sides. Because you never know if he's telling the truth or not, but at the same time, there's a part of him and the way he presents himself makes you think he might actually be telling the truth. Another rapper I also really like, which is more of a recent entry, I would say, is Nux, because the way he's able to subvert the genre of drill itself is so interesting to me. Because drill is, I would say, is not a genre that is stagnating, but it has been stagnant for the last few years. And I feel like people like Nux and I would also say Nems also have, they've changed the what it means to be a drill artist, but be a musician that does UK rap as well. Because before Nux, there was no one that you were hearing that was doing jazz and drill. There was no one, and he came into the genre and he tried something out, and it worked, and it worked, and everyone's now on the Nux train. And I feel like for me myself, where I tried to go alternative with the music I do, I feel like Nux is one of those perfect role models I could look at to see how did he do it? What tools did he use? What kind of methods did he use to get people to like his songs more? Or what did he use in his bars that made people really connect to them? I feel like that's something that's really important for me as a rapper to learn. Um, the last question they asked was, what is the biggest problem that you know, most musicians face nowadays? I say this isn't really a problem, but it's a point. I'd say that it's 100% easier and harder to blow up for music because with all the platforms there's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, so many different platforms and social media which you can use. But because there is so much and there are so many people like you, it's going to be so much harder because you have to now be, instead of being the best out of, oh, okay, best out of 10, you have to now be the best out of a million or 100 million. You have to, there's so many people that are going to be doing the exact same thing you do. And now you have to show how you're better than them. And even then, sometimes you might not be. But then it's not a thing where you should feel like, I can't do better, I can't be better. It should motivate you more to think, yeah, okay, he's better than me at what I'm doing. Okay, let me see what he's doing and let me see how I can do better than him. I feel like in music itself, it's always about outdoing the other person. So that is something I've always is ingrained in me. I have to outdo the other person. I can never be the worst at what I do. I also say another issue that a lot of musicians will face nowadays is making money from the actual art. Because as much as back in the day you had to sell records and sell CDs to make the money from it, you can't do that now because Spotify, Apple Music, all these platforms allow you to stream music for free or seamlessly for free. And as much as they might pay, you have to pay a premium price to, stream without ads. That's not, I don't think that is going to the artist directly. It's going towards the actual streaming brand itself. So I feel like for an artist nowadays to make actual money, it depends on how much you can. First of all, it depends on how many views you're getting on these platforms, how much people are really messing with your stuff, and then also how much tickets you can sell to concerts and performances. And it's a lot harder now because they could really mess with you online. They could really like your stuff online, but they won't be the same people that actually come to your performances and concerts. So again, that's another issue that I think musicians have today.